Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. How y'all doing, my good people? All my dreamers and dreamettes, I hope y'all feeling good today. I hope your energy's up. I got a few topics to bring to you guys, as well as a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. Things going on in our community and entertainment. We got the whole spill today. But healing energy goes out to anybody that's been affected by any gun violence, losing your homes, your jobs. Stress, mental issues, mental health plays a part in all of this. Healing energy, you got to keep yourself going. In these times, a lot of things are going on, and I just want to keep everybody informed. And yeah, drink your water, and you got to live a good life, man. You got to live a good life, no matter what life may be painted as at this point in your life. I see a lot of people unaliving themselves. I'm reading a lot of things that I don't want to see. I want to see we bring ourselves up. So that's where we at today. We got a lot of topics. I want you guys to get settled in, and we gonna get it. Man. Okay. I want to talk. I want to start this episode off today, man. This morning with just this ASAP Rocky court case. Been doing a lot of research on it, and I've been watching it, and right now I'm a little shaky with it. Today they're saying that Riri, she's headed up there and she's gonna be on this side. But I want you guys to, just before we get into that, when you hear that they want the family in court, it usually means they want the judge to see some kind of representation that people love you, you have people behind you. You're not just out there aimlessly doing things and hurting people. But when it comes to this particular case, Rihanna being there or her not being there doesn't mean that she's not in support, because they know her family. He has his mother there. There's a lot that comes into play when it comes down to celebrity cases and, just the jury and the public and how they feel as far as fans and different things like that come into play. So, blessings go out. I'm like I told you guys, I hope everything goes the way it's supposed to. I don't want to, just count people out. Now, yesterday I don't know why Rocky didn't take the first deal. I believe that was 6 months, because knowing that that guy is going to get on the stand and he's going to explain how, because from his point of view, from what his friend said, he's coming with it as far as like he didn't expect that his own friend would be pointing a gun at him or even shooting at him, knowing that he has kids as well. So it's kind of like if I want to be totally honest, I just want, it's a learning lesson. Let's just go straight to the learning lesson for ASAP Rocky. Number one, you have people that you're considering friends. If that's the case, just fight it out. When weapons get involved, situations change. And it's like they say in the old school, if you pull it out, you got to use it. Because not the fact that you just pull it out and, you have to defend yourself, but it's the fact that after this is over, it might not end well. And now, I do feel that there is some kind of hope in the middle of this, because it doesn't look like it's a retaliation type of thing where, just because you pull this out, I'm going to do this after, because they were friends. And once I started establishing that, and he started saying how, good morning. Once I started establishing that they were friends, I kind of felt bad on both sides. This situation here with ASAP Rocky sounds like two friends taking something a little too far, and now this comes into play that they both have children. So, I'm a Fenty, and I understand that Riri has kids from ASAP, but that guy as well has kids too. So I hope as just men, they start to realize, even in the courts, they start to realize, was this all worth it? It's not worth it, because it's looking like it. I don't know. I feel like Rocky. He came back into court. Like I told you before, some of the things you don't want to go into court and do is be in the wrong posture. You want to sit up. You want the judge to know that you're alert. You want to make sure that the jury knows that you are fighting for your life here and you're in the right standings. Now, when that guy sat there and he told his truth, there's two different truths in there. There's two truths always in court. But when that guy sat there and he told his truth, that the jury heard that. And I feel like when it comes down to the case, it's looking like he should have just took the first one, because now it looks like if he blows trial, he's gonna get way more time than just the 6 months or whatever they had offered him in the first place. And it's crazy because all of this weapons, I've seen weapons and drugs just eliminate people's life, eliminate people's future, and giving them no other option. You got to know how to deal with your problems. Now, what I'm about to tell you guys might sound funny, but I did read this in the news, how I believe it's on TMZ as well too. A guy got caught masturbating, and he calls like his brother, and he unalives himself after. I guess because I guess he didn't want to be humiliated on social media and people hearing about it. It goes around in the news, just like I'm talking about it now. But that type of, it's just a thinness for your not knowing who you are. Once you know who you are, okay, you got caught masturbating. Well, that's just some people who doesn't masturbate, you know? It's kind of like you have to social media could be so cruel that sometimes it makes people think that things are just gonna get escalated. You never know what was in that person's mind. They're thinking that, oh, now I got caught masturbating, I'm gonna be headline news, I'm gonna be embarrassed, and they just probably couldn't take that, so he did that to himself. But you have to be stronger than that in these times, and you have to know that social media is just like a blur. Don't even take it like, the person laughing at you could actually be laughing at themselves because of the same mistakes that you made, they made in the past. So you don't want to look at it like that. We all make mistakes. So for the youth coming up, don't think that social media is the say all be all whatever to your life. It's not that. Your life continues and you grow as a person. If you want to explore yourself, that's what you're supposed to do as a human being. Don't let anybody out here tell you because you're masturbating or whatever. Maybe you should take it out of the public. That kind of gets a little creepy. But still, whatever you was doing, you got caught doing it, and you didn't have to take your life away just because you got caught doing that. Embarrassment goes away, and it's up to you how embarrassment really hits you. Sometimes a lot of people that love themselves and value themselves, when they do something embarrassing, they laugh at themselves too. You gotta have a better spirit, have a cheerful spirit, because in these times we need each other, and I need you guys to be stronger than that. You gotta don't. Those are thin things that could hurt you. Don't let that hurt you. We all do things. We all do sexual things, have sexual thoughts. We just got to be more careful about what we do offline and online, because online they highlight things and they make it seem like that's the end of the world, but it ain't like that. So don't look at it like that. Try to have some control in yourself. There's a lot, if you don't realize, every little poster when you go travel, you go anywhere, a lot of things have sex involved with it. It's sexually induced. Sexuality sells a lot of products in these times. So finding somebody or somewhere in their car masturbating or something, it doesn't feel like no shock to me. And maybe it might be funny for me for a day, but the next day I'm going on to the next thing. That's not going to sit on my mind like, oh, remember the guy that was masturbating in the car? Because come on now, we all did sexual things in cars or wherever he did it. And just because he got caught in these times, it makes it that much serious that he had to go take his life. So, healing energy to his family and to the youth. When I know you guys are going to see this story today, look at that and take that as a learning lesson that we all make mistakes. The person laughing at you could be laughing at themselves at the same time for making the same mistake that you did. Don't take things that serious. The things that you take serious are the things that it's going to feel like your family, your real friendship, your career, your things that you want to accomplish in life. Don't you take those things serious. Sexuality and things like that, you can laugh at that. You can laugh at that. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about. This whole Diddy. This series is just getting crazier and crazier. I did put up a little something on it on the channel. You guys can check it out later. It's on just a little deep dive into the docu-series, but there's different episodes of it. And I just feel like Diddy had this tight control over people, that the reason why he was able to control all of these people is because they have really no control over themselves. They didn't know how their value, they saw the money and they needed that out. And when you look at it like that, and you're trying to establish yourself in the music industry, and you see a man you might not feel in your heart is right with it, you gotta go. No matter what, you gotta go. I mean, the guy said he did, Diddy called him in the bathroom and slapped him on his behind and all of this. And I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, yo. It's sad. I don't know. As a man, you got to know if you're feeling uncomfortable. For the women out there, know this that have sons. Men have feelings too, and you can't live life like that and expect people to, you got to be nice to people. And when you get around demons and things like that, you could find yourself in some dark places sometimes. Yeah, and it made me wonder, man. I was just like, it's a scary thing with Diddy. I don't know, man. That guy took a turn for the worse. I understand, that a lot of those people are scared of him. I understand why, because he was making threats and actually going and pursuing those threats and scaring people. And it started with, beating on females. You never know. It goes back and forth from him beating on females, males. He was just hands-on with his power. And some things we would have never knew about his dark past. It makes me think that I don't know if him being in the public or in society at this point is going to be even safe to the people, even in his past. You never know if he holds resentment or if he's in a place where he's trying to heal himself. I don't know, man. When drugs and things like that come into play, not only can it change who you are, but it really hurts the people around you. It affects the people around you. It's scary, man. I don't know, and for the females out there, like I always tell you guys too, you got to take some responsibility in the type of guys that you want to see, that you see yourself with. Sometimes you might have to take the guy that's, that you might have considered in the past, nerdy or whatever you are sophisticated, or, because all of that, and I can't just blame it on the type of person, because you could, at the same point, you can have a guy that's coming from your same environment, but he just has a stronger mentality, and it's better you chase that, fall in love with that, instead of just fall in love with what he has in his pockets. Because the future right now is shaky for everybody, and you want to be around somebody that's, substantial to your life, or just keeping you feeling like you're stable, you're good around them, man. Because you get these guys where the only way they know how to control people is through money and things like that. And once you fall into that chain of the command, you find yourself doing things that you would have never did for anybody else, and it stains your character, the way you love people. You got to be careful, man. I mean, ladies, you gotta take accountability. And it's a difference if you're in high school and maybe you like a guy and he's playing on the basketball team and you really know that guy and you grow up with him and you wanna make a future out of that. Well, you're investing your love in somebody that you can probably trust, and that's gonna be better for you. But if you're just meeting somebody and you're just taking them for what they do and what you can just see for in face value, it ain't safe out here. It's really not safe. It's really not safe. I think nowadays, and I think you could establish a relationship off of social media too. Because social media gives you, it might not be all the correct information, but it gives you just the right amount of information to know what type of person that is, Are they the type of person that's only putting up these happy pictures, and you get a glance to see a person's kind of like their insecurities as well as, their skills or what they could benefit you, that you feel like could benefit in a relationship. So you could find love on social media, but 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be that face-to-face interaction where you can, because trust is a big thing in these times. It has nothing just to do with relationships. It has everything to do with us as a people, as a whole. Do we trust each other enough to say, I can leave this with you, or I can love you this way, or love you only you? These are the questions that people can't answer at these times, because they don't really, the person that they're dating, they don't have that. They're trying to build a trust with that person. And usually 9 out of 10 times when you're trying to build up that trust with a person, people take advantage of that because they see that you're humbling yourself in a way, and you don't want to all the way humble yourself. You want the love to let the love just take its course with people. And if you see a direction that you want to go with your relationship and your partner doesn't see it that way, then it might not go the way you want it to. You have to kind of like, it's a tug of war. It's a tug of war with love nowadays. It's a lot going on. I just want you guys to just stay focused and know that, loving on somebody is not the necessary right now. Being loved is everything. Having the right people around you and having your energy up all the time, because all of this back and forth I see on the internet with, people's relationships, that is not, you're not going to be able to heal and go into the next relationship feeling like you're this is going to be it. No, you're going to still feel hurt from your last relationship because you don't have an understanding of why things are going the way it is. When you're dealing with a relationship, like I told you, social media is like the referee of everything. How both of you guys look at social media is going to direct how your relationship is going to go. If social media plays a big part because one of you guys maybe work in media or something like that, well then, and the other one is probably an introvert on social media here and there, well, it might not work out the same because time is going to be missing from the relationship. When you add a relationship now, the time that you need to add in the relationship, it cuts out a lot of social media. It cuts out a lot of social media. So if you see somebody don't want to share that time, that's signs already that they're saying, this might not be a longevity thing. But when you see people trying to give their all to you and be like, you know what, I'll put down social media. I'm glad I'm with you. I'm so happy. You're my therapy. You're my love. You're the reason why that I look at things the way I do. When you start feeling like that, then social media starts to take a back role, and family and future starts to take the front role in whatever you're thinking. So yeah, man. I don't know, man. It's just, I feel like right now the climate of social media and just the community is starting to clash. We're starting to see a big clash because again, another I seen in Brooklyn, I believe this happened last night or early this morning. Gun violence. A kid firing off a weapon. He shoots one. I believe one is in critical. Another person gets hit, and people start running all over the place. All of that is trauma. That's trauma. Communities are packed with trauma right now. People are, it don't feel good. It doesn't feel enjoyable. We don't feel like that yet. And that's why you see everybody, it's one thing to look at when, not always bringing up the president, but Donald Trump is, from what I see, as far as New York, there's so much news going around, but from what I see, Donald Trump is not playing. He's not playing around. He is trying to clean up these streets, and I see a lot of people scared, nervous of what's next to come. It looks like, from what I see, it looks like he's building a bigger budget for America. It looks like he wants to bring back the money back to America, and he's trying to build a bigger budget for us. Now, when that budget is filled up, what he does with it, I don't know. I can't tell you. But it doesn't have to be in like a reparation format for us as a whole to benefit. It could go into things like that can make us a little bit more money, or make us just take down some prices. We never know where this can go. So I always keep my hopes for the better, even though sometimes I see a whole lot of jibbity jabber about people not liking so and so, this and that. It's not about that in these times, who you like or who you standing behind. These are the times of survival. These are the times that everything that you do has to be strategic, has to be planned out, and you have to find some kind of benefit out of it. If you don't feel a benefit out of it, the next benefit for you to do is not do it, and save your time, put your time and energy into something that will be beneficial to you and yours. That's the best way to look about things. We coming up in, Valentine's Day, and these type of things are coming up. Don't want you guys to overspend or underthink or undervalue yourself, in other words, I should say, because this time around, when you see these holidays come up, you just make sure that you're in a peaceful place. No matter if you have a couple or not, you're enjoying your time. That's what we celebrate in every one of these holidays. We celebrate in our time that we have for ourselves, because we need a lot of it. Right now, we need a lot of it. A lot of families out here crying and stuff. I can't really just jump up on here and say I'm the happiest of what I see in the news, because it's sad. People don't know where their next meal is coming from, or their next dollar is coming from. And me just looking at that, it's a reflection, because I never know if things go bad, God forbid, for me and my people. I would love somebody to come and try to help us out too, because you never know. It can happen to anybody, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, middle class, whatever you claim yourself to be. everybody needs a little bit of help. And some of the energy that I'm seeing, people just like, turning people away because of things that's going on social media, that ain't the way to hold up your energy. You can't treat people like that. Sometimes people don't know until it happened, and then you still got to help them even though they was fussy in the past, So be careful of the people you're around, and just try to stay around people that if something should go down, they got your back and they can hold you down. And then, we're seeing a lot of going back into that, just a little touch on the whole. I see, Art of Dialogue. He still has more interviews coming up on Jewels, but like I said before, with a lot of these, these breakups and thing, it all deals with it's the bonding is one of the biggest things that we can't break, because technology will make your bond break because of items and things that people try to compare each other. Who's better than who and this and that. Keep your bonds together. Keep your friendships together. If it wasn't a friendship from the start, then you should have been stopped it. But if it went for years and years and years, that means it could be rekindled. You can work it out. Life is too great for us to be getting on social media every day and arguing about who has what or who's doing better than who. We got to get off of that energy, man, because we can't treat our people. When you say things like that to people, you might feel like it's just something slick for you to say this and that. But at the end of the day, you might could really hurt somebody by saying that, man. You could hurt somebody by saying things like that. People nowadays, I don't know, I would never ever want to say something on here for the sake of just saying it and somebody go take their life or they feel some type of way because I said something. That thing drill heavy on you, man. That thing hold heavy on you. You can't do that to people. People don't have some different understandings. I understand it out here. I understand that not everybody is the best educated and things like that. And some people fall in their traps and they fall into these things because they thought they believe in people, and then they turn around and they get tricked again. But for the people that understand the trick, it's not for you to down those people. It's for us to teach them, don't let that happen to them again. Don't down them and say, oh, you're this, you're that, because it can happen to anybody. Let me tell you that when the devil come, the devil gonna always come in disguise. The devil is gonna make people feel like, no, this is the best trick. Like I'll leave that devil quote on my last video. You guys go check that Diddy video out, and it's really deep. I made that up. Usually when you see me put quotes up, I make them up myself. I mean, how hard could that be? Just be original in these times, man. I got another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm hearing now that DJ Akademiks, he lost his I don't know if it was a Twitch deal or whatever he had going with Twitch, but I guess he got banned from Twitch because of his last incident speaking to that 15-year-old. And like I told you guys, it was just the conversation. It was. I wouldn't consider you guys. If you haven't seen it, don't go watch it, man. Don't click on these things. I'll just give you a briefing of it. He was just talking inappropriate to a 15-year-old, the type of talk that you don't really want the kids or anybody to hear. But nowadays on social media, and it was also, I guess you could say, homophobic. And nowadays on social media, the kids and the younger ones, they're hearing the same things we're saying, and how we represent ourselves and stand up for ourselves is how they look up and how they want to represent themselves. So he got banned from Twitch, and I believe Twitch is for like kids and things like that. I believe Twitch is a site where it's not just kids. There's adults on there that play like real gamers and things like that. But usually what happens is when you have video games and everything, because I play video games sometimes. I get some Call of Duty in there sometimes. But I haven't really found myself, doing no gaming things or anything like that, because it's not on play. I don't get enough time to just go all the way on Call of Duty. They got some cheating issues too. But anyway, just when you lose, people understand when you lose these things like that, it's a wake up call to let you know it's not just about academics. It's about the platforms. You have to be respectful of these platforms. Like when you're on YouTube and things like that, and you're integrating these platforms, you got to know that's two different terms of service. You're over there with that's a younger demographic that you're also bringing onto an adult YouTube. A lot of things like this is going to be regulated in these next months to come, because it's that younger age. Yeah, and I'm not knocking anybody, because I would hate to. I'm not here to take nobody money or stop them from getting their money. The man, I guess he makes good money. He has a lot of big views, a lot of million million view videos and things like that. But at the end of the day is when it comes down to the kids, you're gonna have a lot more viewers, but then the more viewers that you have at that demographic, you have to be that much more, cautious in the things that you say and be more responsible in the things that you do on social media. Because the blessing is that you can speak to the youth, but then you have to give them a lesson so that you can raise them with a different mindset. If you go over there and you just talking that, that homophobic stuff that stuff right there can get yourself in trouble. I don't know these people's preferences, and it doesn't matter if you're doing whatever you're doing. And I'm not sure if he's not, I don't think he goes that way, to be honest with you. But I just feel like the conversation sounds very, very nasty. And, people have parents, and you can find yourself in lawsuits and a whole lot of stuff. So at the end of the day, when it comes to that Twitch and things like that, I would take that as a loss. I would just write that off. I won't pay no mind to that, because it's a younger demographic, and maybe the things that you want to talk about now, because you're an adult, might not suit them. And just because you're getting more money from over there, it's not always the best thing. Just because if you paid me more and I had to talk to the kids, then I can't bring these topics, because that's a karma that you don't want to deal with. You don't want to spoil the youth's mindset and have them thinking, because life is not, and to be honest with you, life is not about sex. Life is not about sex. We got to take a slow down on that. Just sex. It's cool. We all think about it, but at the end of the day, let's start realizing and going back to get to the love first, and then we can get back to the sex. Because if we don't figure that part out, then just the sexual part could end up in a bunch of stuff. And just that's all I gotta say about that with Act, man. Just I wouldn't even because if you want to speak to a bigger demographic, then you can crack these jokes or whatever, however you were looking at it, and with adults. I've seen on YouTube people talking a whole bunch of, some people get silly and get paid for it, and they say funny stuff, and it's not to disrespect anybody, but saying that stuff to kids is just not permitted. We have family members, and that's just, better than that, because come on, better than that. I know you do. So I'm just saying it's messed up, but it just goes to show you these platforms don't belong to us. You want to own a platform and things like that, I won't suggest going that route, because it's a big thing when it comes down to media and these platforms. It's a whole it's going to be a whole different, I feel like a whole rearrange on a lot of platforms that cover media over different types of different things. But yeah, man, I just look at it like that. Take your loss and just build up. You still got more people tuning in, build up. It's not the end of the world, but you learn from it, you move on, and try to get off of that stuff. Because I ain't that. Don't play with the kids. The karma will come quicker than yesterday. Let me see. I had something else for you guys. So this is another thing I wanted to bring to you guys. Did you guys see that Boosie's he has a how can I say it the most respect? His fiancée, she had revealed that she's living at home alone, and I thought about, and she's pregnant at the time. She's pregnant right now, living home alone. So she came to social media, and this is one of the reasons why I say don't just jump on social media. Sweetheart, and all respect to Boosie, you cannot tell me at this point with social media and everything going on that you did not know Boosie's lifestyle. So I hope that you don't think that man was going to be with you 24 hours when he has never displayed that in the past with his other baby mothers. I believe he has 4 or 5 or 6, maybe, possibly. And that's not to be funny. This is the reality. You come into the picture and you feel like you have a more step up than those other baby mothers. This is what happens in these types of situations. One person feels like they're more ready, or they're the one, when he has 5 other. He has a lot of things, especially as rap, as his health, a lot of things he has going on, and you are asking for this time that that Boosie can't give you. I'm just hoping that you're not one of the ones that after this baby is born, that you are quick to run into them courtrooms and try to put Boosie in court. Because I'm going to really look over and say you should have knew better. I'm just telling you what it is. I know that there's a lot of people. See, there is a thing down south where the families are bigger. But there's another thing about when the families are bigger. That's always best when it's one baby mother. Not when it's a whole bunch of, you have a whole bunch of baby mothers scattered out. I can't tell another man what to do. But at the end of the day, as a female looking on and approaching that, you should take more responsibility in yourself to know that that man can't be with you 24 hours. Don't complain. At the end of the day, try to work with it, work with what he has going on. You guys have, hopefully you guys, knew each other for a good amount of time now before you got to this point, and try to work it out. Don't come to social media and start saying how you're alone at home and things like that, because it happens in the entertainment. If you're dating somebody from the entertainment business, we see this all the time. They need time to do studio stuff. They're always running around. So the time that you're asking for, and I know a regular person would have been there just in case anything happens. You're pregnant, you want to be there for your lady, if she, just hit the bell and I got you. But when it comes to the entertainment business, that time is split up with so many different people. I don't know what you was expecting. Maybe you was expecting something else out of the relationship. I'm not sure. But that's crazy. You think Diddy's coming home? They think Diddy's coming home. Are you just trolling? Because it's looking crazy, man. I don't know. You think Diddy's coming home? I know he's coming home sometime, but anytime soon, I don't know. I don't know. Let's just say he does come home and he beats this case. What does that say to all the victims out there, or everybody that's dealt with this type of situation, whether it be Diddy or somebody else in the music industry, and they might have not came to the forefront? What does it say for them? Are they, because it's gonna be, I don't know. I don't know. Did you guys hear about another? He's I don't know if you guys know. His name is Leak Ward. He's a Philadelphia rapper, and he got, I believe it's 4 years. He got up in, I think they said 4 years. Hold on. Oh, yeah, he got 4 years for gun possession. All I can say, man, you can see how crime is going. Why do you have to go to somewhere that you have to take a gun with you? Is it because you're wearing a bunch of that junk jewelry? What is it? What is it? Are you scared because, do you have beef already? Are you in a gang? Those type of things you asking yourself right there will let you know you cannot go in place where regular people are trying to enjoy themselves with a gun on your waist and expect people to think, oh, nothing's gonna happen just because you got this. No, right now, any weapons and things like that, all of that stuff is putting people behind the. Stay away from all of that stuff, man. Open a food truck, man. Trust me. Oh, you'll do better. And open a food truck. Bring your culture into it. Don't get into none of this gunplay, because all of that stuff is gonna get you out. The new prisons that they're building, let me tell you, it don't look good. It don't look good. You guys got more money on your heads. All these criminals don't. When Donald Trump combs out all the immigrants that were doing all of this wrong and all of this the crime in the streets, guess who's left? Gang members. Don't think that listen, man, I'm telling you, this is how it's gonna go. This is how it's gonna go. If people are feeling nervous to go to work, and you know where that money is going. The money is that they're going to work for is paying the government. You think they want you to scare those people? People are not putting up their best effort at their jobs, and because they have things on their mind. They have their family and things that's going on. So how would people put up their best efforts when you see things going on in their community? Of course the gang members are going to be out of here next. I seen what you call it? It was Casanova, the rapper Casanova. He caught from prison, and I believe it was on Double XL. And it seemed to me, honestly, from my takes of it, he's saying that he got arrested, and they took him in for marijuana possession. But Casanova, I feel he fell victim to the first take of social media playing a big part in crime and the court system. So the picture that was painted on social media of Casanova said something completely different than what they picked him up for and held him in prison for. You understand? So his picture, that his presentation, even though he was rapping, even though behind the scenes, that gang presentation is the thing that took Casanova away. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like if Casanova came out of prison, that he would go and do wrong and do this and that. I think he probably would stay far away from that, as far away from that. I seen him slowly changing, but it's just the temperature that he was coming up with. He was coming up around the 6'9" time, where they were just understanding that snitching and friendship, it started to go like this. Things were starting to separate because 6'9" through in the public, he gave an open eye to the people that was with me. This is how I was getting treated. And once the public seen that now and say, put friendship with it, it started making people say, well, I would have did the same thing too. You did that to him and you slept with him, I would have did the same. So when Casanova was on his run, the picture of him was a big gang member. They said something, I don't know this gang. It was some gang, he was with the apes or something like that, or the gorillas or something like that. And they all got caught up, I guess, in a RICO. And I feel like out of it, as time went on, I believe he was in there for 4 years, he explained. I heard things about him denouncing from the gang. These are all the different ties you want to break away, because a lot of people in prison start to realize, this wasn't even worth it. And I believe a lot of people deserve a second chance. A lot of people deserve a second chance. But it's so tricky to really define who does. Are you going to come back in society and do the things you did? Or are you going to really take God's blessings for you and really reach the heights you got to go? Because at the end of the day, once you mess up what God has in plan for you, your life is now being puppeted by the devil's workers. See, the devil's always going to be working on a daily basis. And it's easy to capture those people. It's easy to blind people when they're in desperation for something, You might want the money behind the door, but when you put your hand through the hole, there might be something to cut it off. But are you going to go in there and try to do it as fast, or are you going to just find a different way of getting the money? Find a different way. Go a different route. There's so many, and we don't even know what's next to come. There's so many different openings that's going to be open. Yeah, media is going to take a big hit. Yeah, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Because us as human beings, the way we interact with each other without, there's really there's a lot of gossiping and friction going on that it really doesn't, it's not being substantial to the human experience. I keep telling you guys this. All of this stuff can be put on a reel and be posted up every day by technology in a minute. We got to make our conversations and our connections more stronger than what AI or whatever could be done. We can't leave ourselves and a lot of people right now, they don't know if their next meal is coming because AI or technology, somebody's trying to take their job. As the rich people, they're up there cheering right now. They're cheering, they cheering, throwing money in the sky because you know who money it is? That's our money they throwing in the sky. That's our money. We gotta wisen up and start realizing that we need us. We need us. We need us. As some people might feel embarrassed by saying it. Oh, what do you mean? I'm way past you guys. No, it's not about that. We need us. We need a little more help than what we was getting. If we have something, we need it doubled up because it is hard in these times. It's hard. It's hard out here, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me see what I had some, and today I'm gonna. I know you guys are gonna be tuning in. I'm tuning into the ASAP trial, man. It's crazy. They say Riri going up there. Man. And another thing, Trump said, as I heard he addressing the mystery drones, and he was saying that, that there's no threat. If Trump went back there and he read it, people were trying to identify what he meant by it. Look, you don't have to go that far. You know that the way that man is operating, he told you that he was going to let you know if it was going to be a threat. He would be like, you know what, this is a threat, and then we would in our heads know that's not coming. That's coming from an outside source. But now that he says, the drones are not a threat, don't worry about it. That's probably because we was probably getting surveillance, and our information took them from people inside of America. Pay attention. Pay attention, pay full attention to that. Don't be fooled by that. It's another story I wanted to bring to you guys. Hold on. Let me see, because I want to get the whole thing. Oh, food check, y'all. Food check, y'all. Don't get that Coca-Cola, y'all. Don't get the Coca-Cola. I'm hearing that they're doing recalls on the Coca-Cola because they have something going on with your, it had like something to do with your hormones. You don't want your wee-wee working like a vagina or your vagina working like a wee-wee. I don't know what these people got going on, y'all, but it's twisting people up. And if all this time, what they say, that's my whole thing. Like they tell you, like, stop drinking Coca-Cola. How long was we supposed to stop drinking? Like, are you late on this information? Like they're saying that it had some things in there that can mess up your hormones. I don't drink soda, but I know a lot of the youth, they drink sodas and things like that. And Coca-Cola is a big brand, and I'm pretty sure tons of the youth is drinking Coca-Cola. They're not reading in the news every day. They're going to school doing what they have to do, having their fun. How would they get this message out to know that they have to stop drinking Coca-Cola? Come on, you guys. When it comes down to like food and health and things like that, it has to be this has to reach the headlines faster than the gossip and things. You got to put that out and let the kids know, whether they get announcements in school, stop buying Coca-Cola for now. This has to be like a worldwide like announcement. You don't just tell us on a news thing and think that everybody's going to pick that up. Not everybody is warning people about the foods. So if you and your family are dealing with like Coca-Cola, try to just stay off the Coca-Cola for a few, because it seems like they got some hormone stuff they're finding in there. You don't know what's going on in these things. Like, seriously, man. You drink that stuff and now you can't operate right in bed. Now that breaks up your family, the sexual anger. You don't know what's going on. Or you do that and now you got to take something to try to heal. Come on now. Y'all gotta be careful. I don't know, man. People thinking is it gonna be a war? Like I told you, I think the war already started. I think the war already started. Here we go. This is what I want to break down to you guys, and this is for everybody that's thinking that's all the jewelry, the fast money, and the fast fashion. All of this stuff that's going on is worth something. I'm going to tell you what happened, and I want you guys to figure it out with me when I explain this to you guys. You guys going to understand what I'm saying, but I want you guys to figure it out. Now, the feds made a big bust of $200 million worth of counterfeit. It was a counterfeit ring in Los Angeles, right? Long Beach. 200 million in counterfeit bags. They say bags, jewelry, what else? Shoes, and yeah, like diamonds and things like that. Now, I want y'all to really listen to what I'm saying here. 200 million worth of counterfeit. Now, do you think $200 million worth of counterfeit, that's going to be just 200 million worth of counterfeit on the streets, like the vendors on the streets get it and put it out? Where do you think that 200 million worth of counterfeit stuff is going? It's going to them big stores. Yeah. Yeah, you'll be surprised. The stuff you was buying probably at those big stores out there, they were probably fake. And whatever they did, they probably did take 2020, take out 20,000 worth of stuff, put in 20,000 worth of fake stuff. That's on you. You never know. I don't think that worth 200 million worth of counterfeit stuff was just gonna go on the street for street vendors. That's a lot of stuff. All the fake diamonds and stuff, yeah, they did that much to fool people. Nowadays, all the jewelry and things you've seen, don't trust me. People are getting tricked. And these fools out here, they think, no, what, my Rolex is real. They go back to the same jeweler they bought it from, trying to test it. What a fool, man. Crazy stuff going on. You're taking the diamonds back to the same jeweler. That jeweler that you're going to test it at the other jeweler. Yeah, that's his family down there. So when you go, of course it's real. It's really fake, just like you. You got to pay attention. Don't put your money into all of this stuff. Is it really worth it in these times? At this point in time, when it comes to jewelry and things like that, the stocks in that should drop. If you see the stocks go up in that stuff, then you know people they're just off balance. You don't need that stuff. You can save a lot of time and energy by even putting yourself in a place where you have to throw that on and now you got to watch your back. Because only the dummies are chasing after that stuff. I heard a billionaire the other day. He said, he lives out in London. He lives out in England. He said he's not wearing no more Rolexes, nothing on his because people are running. He's trying to get something to eat and people trying to run and pull the man's hand off. He's not wearing that no more. So now he don't got nothing on him. But he worth for big billions of dollars. You see how it go? What a life, man. What a life. You know, I was watching this interview on it was on Vlad TV. Shouts out to Vlad TV. It was an interview on there with one of my favorite dudes. He's a sniper. You guys got to go check it out on his intake on, just on the reels of life, man. The man started getting into explaining on when it comes down to war and the things that people are out there, we over here killing each other and we don't realize in a minute our behinds are going to be in trouble because them other people want to do the same thing. We taking on traits of people that just want to hurt us. If we can't build ourselves up, how are we going to stand together? You can't don't let me hear you ask anybody nowadays, oh, we got to come together, this and that. We are past that part. We know what we got to do. We just ain't doing it. We can't keep saying the same thing over and over again. These people out here are lost. And there's people out here really hurting and trying to defend things that really are meaningful in life. And these other people over here are playing with it. You don't need a lot of people don't understand. You're in your head, you're saying, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. But do you? Do you really wish you had that? Take another look at it. You probably wouldn't even want that much. You probably just need enough so you can feel secure. Everybody has that secure point. It's all of that stuff you put into your life that you're trying to maintain. That's why you're spending so much money. You got to maintain the fake. The real don't take too much maintenance, man. It don't take too much maintenance to be you. It doesn't really take that much maintenance. Trust me on that, it don't. But I just thought about that, like 200 million worth of counterfeit products and diamonds and jewelry. Yeah, well, of course that's going in stores. Yeah. I can see it. Yep. I'm hearing Eminem, he's suing Ford, the Ford dealership. Now I think I heard this commercial, and it was kind of like a lose yourself, and the Ford, and I'm hurt. This is why you got to really pay attention. Your music, the things that you write down on pad and paper, is valuable as long as you know the value. People will take your music and run off and put it behind something and sell products off of it, and you can't even sell a lick or a stream because you don't even know the value of your own stuff. Eminem is suing Ford because they use his Lose Yourself, I guess the beat or whatever, behind their product to sell. Now, you would think if you've seen that commercial, oh, Eminem got a Ford deal. No, people, they pushed forward, man. People are ready. Before you can even sign your name, they want to run off with your stuff. So you got to be very careful. That's why I'm smart enough to know what to bring online and what to keep offline. You got to know it. You got to know that. And what times to drop certain things. When you know your community right now is not really looking to be the most come together, you have to make sure the jewelry that you drop is fitting enough for the conversation. We're not in those times. We're in a time where we can't trust each other because we see a lot of the people that said they're this and that. They'll go off to anybody else for a little piece of money and they'll turn their back on you so quick. Man, listen. Them the same people that, our ancestors and them things we're talking about. It's just in different times. It's just people that'll do anything because, I got to get mine. I got to get mine. Meanwhile, when they got theirs, it ain't even but so much. Little piece of something that they feel like they standing out with. Man, with a snap of a finger, it can happen to you. I tell everybody that all the time because you have to be more humble. People thought that humble meant, just weakening yourself and just saying yes to everything. That's not what humbling yourself means. Humbling yourself has everything to do with understanding. It has everything to do with understanding. It has nothing to do with you being weak or what strength you are. No. It has nothing to do with that. It has to understand that you can be in the same position as that person that you see under the parkway in that little blanket trying to stay warm from the cold because he lost his house. It could be us. It could be us, me and you. Things happen. And you will always want somebody to have your back. I mean, people are out here looking for just the look of things. Man, you better be out there looking for some love or somebody that can hold you down. Trust me. Everything is all good when you doing the single stuff, the money coming in, this and that. But it's just life don't work that way. Life works in a way where you're gonna need that help sometime. Maybe that mental help, maybe that love, and you're gonna need that. Nobody wanna just stay home under like cold sheets and then cold pillows. Come on now, we know better than that. You gotta do better. Where I part of, I would never go to one of those type, parties, those freak off parties. Number one, I'm just not with the whole, I guess I'm not a group sex type of person, man. And when you're dealing with somebody, if I'm dealing with somebody that, as far as like let's just say not a girlfriend, the group sex thing it ain't gonna work for me. None of that stuff is gonna work for me. Now if I'm dealing with somebody, normally like group sex happens for me if like you have both friends like me, and then that can be work. But if you're talking about like group sex and you got other guys coming in and he's coming in with this girl, and I don't look, man, y'all could have that. Y'all could take the baby oil and go that away. I was never into that stuff anyway. That stuff is disgusting at this time. And come on, man, you gotta do better, man. Do better. Do better, man. Like, nah, I'm not into that stuff. I'm hardly into just partying at this time. Like, what's the party about? Everybody want to party and celebrate something that they didn't achieve. You want to party and celebrate for something that you achieve, and celebrate it with your family. Show people that your celebration is different. I don't want to party, go in the club or get sweaty with people like I'm in high school. And look, listen, man, I'm an adult. You're not going to find me at the strip clubs, and I'm not trying to lose and go down that path of just, I don't need all of that. There's enough sexual stuff that the strip club should be out of business by this point with all this social media nonsense. You're not gonna catch me front row at that at the strip club. That's just not my twist, man. All of that. And we gotta slow down with all the guys talking about suck this, suck that. Look, quit with all of that. Who taught you that stuff? Telling another man what to do with yourself. Come on now. Sometimes, you think you take things funny, but then you turn around like, are you gay or not, man? Like after a while, we on social media and it's a real world. If you're gonna be gay, even if you're gay, it's nothing wrong with being gay, but just be more respectable towards people. Especially if another person is not gay, you're gonna approach them with some. And if they say they're not gay, don't press it more. Go on about your business. Not everybody going that route. You see what type of temperature things are going on in these times. Fix yourself and be more approachable. If you had a better representation of yourself, you wouldn't have to run out there and try to question people, are they gay or not. Their presentation should say who they are. If they don't know the value in themselves, then them being gay, they're going to be hiding like most of these guys out there that's bisexual. And this is the same reason why Diddy found himself in these places. Because number one, if he was open to being bisexual from the gate, he wouldn't have felt some type of way where he'll inflict that type of pain on somebody else. Because just somebody might not be living your lifestyle but can understand what you went through. A lot of these people, they get on here and their friction is like, it's either you're doing it or you're not doing it. You know what I mean? Stop being in the middle because you hurt people being so deceitful. It's not the fact that you're gay. It's the fact that you lied to this. You lied about that. You lied about this. You lied about that. And the trust issues. How you expect whether it's a man or a woman to want to stay with you if you have these types of trust issues? What's going on with you? Get your life together. You see what's going on with Cardi and Offset, right? And then you see Corley Ray with Trippie Redd, right? Relationships it's not easy. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Grown folks have made these mistakes. Don't make the same mistakes as these people. Don't you know that you'll have a better time having sex with one person a whole bunch of times than trying to go randomly out there and find different people that suits your fit? You ain't gonna get nothing that suits your fit. You're gonna get your behind hurt. That's what's gonna happen. Everybody want to be this, this macho man or the best queen, best mermaid. Look, listen, really, that's not what love's about. And it's starting to look sad on our people because at the same time we got people looking for love and we got our own people hurting each other. What kind of mix is that? That's not. I'm not feeling that. I'm really not feeling that. Not at all. Not at all. Another thing that was embarrassing, Tiffany Thornton. You know that Thornton Township She's out there in Chicago and she's trying to do this meeting and it just erupts in the fight. And y'all gotta fix yourself. Y'all got black people looking bad out here. All y'all can do is fight, go back and forth, and talk up loud and cuss up everybody. You think that's gonna be substantial of you being somebody in as leadership? You guys got to really rewind and see what leadership is. I don't care if the next person that you would claim to be a leader or who you going up against is cussing you out. You be the leader that you said you are, and you go about it the respectable way. Just because somebody got a bunch of words for you, that says a lot for their past and their life, the way they came up. Some of these people ain't come up with no love. They had to buy that stuff. If you came up with it, you respect it more and you value it at this point. A lot of people ain't paying no mind to these people always ready to go in this back and forth. It's because their life is in turmoil. They thought the money was it. I told you. I told you, I told you, I told you. What I tell you was going to go down. It was going to be from the money to their ear. Where else it was going to go? Right into their pocket. What I told you, man. The move was sweet. It was that quick. You know, like I tell you guys, man, there's a lot of tricks out here, a lot of people not understanding. From what I see, man, the crime is gonna drop sooner or later because this man, Donald Trump, ain't playing. If it's one thing if you don't like him or not, that's all on you. But at the end of the day, he ain't playing around. He's not playing around. He like, oh, you thought I wasn't going to, you everything I said I was gonna do, watch what I do. Because you never know what a person's intentions are. He might want to leave our culture with a different perspective of himself. Like, oh, see, I told you I wasn't. Honestly, that man's about business, man. Business guru. He ain't really worrying about what color you are, this and that. He's a business guru. He about his money, man. And he know that presidential politics is a business. It's one of the biggest business in America. So he going in there and he's playing his chessboard. I don't think he really gonna look back and just want to hurt America and just take this culture out. Or I don't think he got even time for that. I think what he's trying to do is clean up his slate. And all the people that was in the back talking about they're gonna put him in prison and do this and that, he getting them fired up and out in there. Won't you do the same if somebody's trying to get you out? So look, you can't look, man. This is where we at today. I don't want to hear the complaining over and over again. Complaining never gets you nowhere. It don't get you nowhere. Some people, I don't always end up on the best side of the room or the bet you pull the best stick. Come on now. Sometimes you gotta work with people. You gotta make sure that maybe your agenda might not be the first to get pushed, but people are people and people are trying to get this place back to where at least in the state where people can feel at least comfortable enough to go make some money. So come on now, man. Let the criminals get the criminals. They were dumbos anyway. I told those guys a couple lives back. AI and social media been caught up to their criminal acts, and what they do, they go out there and do the same crimes every single time. You see the guy that pushed. I told you. You see the guy pushed the female off of the subway out here in New York, and he walking up in some ugly sheep coat. It's like, what's up with these sheep coats? He up here walking up here with this sheep coat, and they asking him, "Do you feel bad?" And he just like smiling. Oh my goodness, the mental issues are just reeking from his face. He got mental issues spell all over his face, and he's smiling like he don't know what he just did. So these are the type of people that's getting up and out, and they're gonna be in prison right there with the Diddies and all the other rappers that feel like they gotta do crime to add to their music. What makes you think they're not going to get caught? If they can pull Bill Cosby from something all the way in the past, if you do something today, you think in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it's not a possibility that you can end up in prison? Do better for yourself. Because you can't, and it got crazy too, like people always say, but he got kids, a lot of people have kids. A lot of people have kids. Did you think about kids when you hurt the guy and you shot him? He had kids. So look, we have to start being accountable for the things that we do and stop pointing our finger all the time. Sometimes we got to point. Sometimes we could point out something like that ain't right, but then sometimes it gets over exaggerated by the lazy and by the low energy. If you don't stay there. Don't stay there. Keep moving. Keep it moving. Even if you wake up on some low energy, try to pick it up. Pick it up. Yeah, that's the thing. Let me tell you, man, this money got people thinking like And to be honest with you, let me tell you, even if I'm up, I still don't feel up because of these times. Everything, you never know what's going to happen as far as like health wise or food wise or just overspending on the things that you know, you're going to need on your daily basis. So these people out here get on like they can just burn up money and throw money anywhere and just get this and get that. But at the end of the day, they don't realize they're gonna be, if when things go bad, they're gonna be the first one they're gonna pull from them. You can't pull money from somebody that don't have it. You're gonna pull from where people are getting. So if people could think like that and have an understanding, they won't be little people, and people will have a better way of getting what they got to get going and stop putting these hurdles in front of people. Oh, you got to be this way, that way. It looks so stupid, man. It look crazy. I don't get them. I don't get them. I seen something else. Let me see. So yeah, so Riri gonna be yeah. I told you guys, yeah, she's gonna be in court. And ASAP, man, it just looks like, man, but that whole situation with him and that guy, if you were friends with him, y'all should have just, and even if he got into fist fight, but once a pistol is pulled, you can't sit there and say, because you're not gonna get. That's one thing you're not gonna get from me. You're not gonna get the street, the street rules and justice and me cheering that on. You pull if there's a possibility they can prove you pulled a gun out and you actually shot at your friend, you know you're wrong. You can't be wrong and strong. You gotta take what comes with it. That's why I say you should have took the first time they gave you. That was giving you an outs right there, but you didn't want to do time at all. So hopefully things work out and maybe you guys, stay far away from each other after too. Y'all was never friends. I know you might think that y'all was never friends. Y'all probably had things going on brewing within your group or whatever. Mm-mm-mm. Them politicians, tricky, man. Big ups to all my people in Barbados, St. Michael's. What's up? All my peoples in the NYC, in the UK. Yeah, man. I see Elon Musk, as I was reading something earlier, it was saying like comparing him to Iron Man. I'm like, we don't need really Iron Man. We don't need Iron Man. We just need somebody that's going to be innovative and open people's mind up to creating new things. I was thinking more of a lot of these companies that I see, a lot of these big companies, you could always tell the companies that were just there for profit because they're just trying to make more money. Even though they make billions and trillions, they're trying to make more money instead of trying to make it easier for, workers to have a better time or easier. They're trying to eliminate people with technology. Just because Gen Z said the way that you guys are compensating their parents and the people around them is not enough. You guys don't want to meet their standards. You guys want to go around that and save more money. That's not right because I don't know if these people understand. Just because your kids are getting fed off of your big $1 trillion companies, it doesn't mean that their friends and their friends and their friends are not suffering from not having the type of work that they can live their lifestyle they want to live. The greed is present, you guys. The greed is present. That's why I say don't go buy all that stuff. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all don't fall for that stuff, man. Don't go buy all that stuff. You need all the help you can get. I know you might not want to say anything. Don't go buy all that stuff. That stuff is gonna get you. Later on, you'll want to throw that stuff away, and all of that stuff once you take it out of the store is cheaper. Not worth it, man. Not worth it. You can mix and match what you got going on. You got stuff in your closet you can mix and match. Fix it up. Fix it up. Don't support the people that don't support you. I'm not with it. This year, I'm taking on a whole new energy. I start to realize a lot of our own people, they halfway support, bare minimum support, because they feel like, oh, you might pass me or you might know this or those are the people I'm staying far away from, I'm always doing like a flush of following and people that what are you putting out there that's substantial and what am I taking from this? What as far as like knowledge wise, are you doing anything? Is it funny? Because I'm down today. Let me look for something funny. Is it really funny? Oh, you're just down. I'm more likely in these times to just I'm filtering things out of my life. That's the point where I'm up to right now. Just filtering certain things, and it feels good because I'm glad when I don't know what's going on because it gives me a gist to learn something what's going on. When I think I know everything that's going on, it's usually a lot of gossip, a lot of people, just a whole lot of wrong, and it's just that stuff gets tiring. I feel like I'm cooling today. I feel great in my being, and I'm just ready to create, whether it be a new design or take some new ideas and put it in place. That's where your mindset should be at. I'm trying to wait for him to see what's up with this ASAP Rocky. It's a mess. It's a mess. To all the rappers out there that take your craft seriously. It's a gifted job. It's gifted. The blessing is not just rap. It's what you do with rap. The blessing is that God gave you the light to communicate through music. So whatever that music may be, just make sure your communication is clear and you're not out there biting or just regurgitating all of that stuff right now. When I hear that regurgitating, regurgitated interviews, regurgitating all, content videos, all that stuff is cringy. Cause I know you don't know yourself. I know you're trying to find yourself, and some of these people they don't even know themselves, but they jump up on there and they just try to be this thing, and it's just sounding so weird and going all over the place that the facts are not adding up, and it's just so scattered out, man. It's just people are trying to find themselves. I know, so I just want to leave you guys with some good energy. Like just know it, man. There's a lot of things happening, man. There's a lot of things happening. Stay close and don't just be the ownership of everything and then be successful of nothing. Just try to stick to what you're doing, even if it's right now it might not be the most highlighted things because everybody doing what everybody doing. You know what I mean? In other words, but the people that's doing their own thing, those are the people that should be highlighted in these times. And eventually, as YouTube is gonna catch on to how to grab certain people that's fulfilling to that and not just the people putting out anything or regurgitated stuff. So you got to keep that in mind. And yeah, man, keep that in mind. I would think nowadays you can get yourself a pet before you get yourself a lover. Love comes in all shapes and forms. You can go and do some weird stuff with the pet, but you can have the love, the atmosphere, have that aura around you if you can't just find it within a person. Because people out here, they demon. We hear them stories with Diddy. Some of these new stories, I was like, man, I would have ran for the hills out that mansion. Ran for the hills, booty butt naked like this. No more Diddy parties, I swear. I don't care if anybody finds out I'm never coming back. I would have been out of there. Are you kidding me? You're not going to do that. There's no two mistakes on that. No, sir. No two mistakes. These people more than wicked. These people they don't know. I don't know in prison if they have Bibles and things like that, but I hope he pick up something. Whether the Bible, the Quran, pick up something because, man, your soul is dark. Your soul is dark, 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 man. I'm telling you. You can't get ahead thinking like that people are just items and you can do whatever you want. You know how many people, their futures were ruined? This one guy was in tears talking about, my whole, and it's true. You can't buy people and throw them away. You can buy into people and build them up. But just like buy people and throw them away, that type of let me tell you, man, we got to thank God that God works his ways. Because let me tell you, don't think that Diddy is the top level to this narcissist thing. There's levels more. The more it keeps going up, the more it gets criminal and criminal and criminal, and the more the mental health is lost. It's like going into space losing air. The more you keep going up and up and up in that narcissist, the more that it takes away from you. You start getting into the levels of like the Hitlers and don't want groups of people to be like this or think the way you want everybody to think like you. That's when you get up to those levels. So don't think Diddy's the highest level of this. No, there's more levels to this. So you got to stay away from these type of people. Stay away, stay away. I told you these people are just dummies dressed in designer, and I meant it. I meant it, I meant it. You see somebody with all this design and nonsense on. It's not, and it's no disrespect. Well, you know what? Take it like it is, because the truth is, you don't care about us anyway. You guys just want more money anyway, and my people lost trying to think that that looked good. Yeah, you fooled us once, but look, let me tell you, people are waking up in my culture. I don't want to hear that. Black people are, and everybody that's good people, I should say, good black people first and foremost, and then good people next after that, are waking up to know that people like you, we don't want y'all around us. You already tricked us already, and you had us thinking it was something that it's not. So we don't want to be around that in these times. We don't want none of that. We just want to go about our business and do what we got to do for our peoples that we love. We don't want to be around all that, the trickery. You don't want to be around that. Those are the people that say, oh no, life is a movie, life is a movie. Well, who's going to be the director? Not you. I'm out of here. I don't want to watch this movie. I don't want to watch this movie. I do my own movie. We'll do our own movie on our own time, and we'll party and bust it up the way we bust it up, while them evil people over there don't even know themselves, looking in the mirror. They can't even recognize themselves. I would stay far away from them. That's why I move. You'll see my content moving towards more of uplifting stuff than staying towards that that nonsense. Because you know how many people get fooled by that on a daily basis? How many? Ah, man, it's a mess. It's a mess. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys. If you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna drop some new videos. I know you guys like the culture videos. The last one I did was on Haiti and Dominican Republic. Oh boy, they chopped me up. But I had the other one that's doing really well. I know you guys, the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans always was a thing. I knew that from even living out here in New York. Damn, it's just always a back and forth thing. And what I realized with all these culture videos that I'm putting up, a lot of these videos, you guys, if you don't take notice, they have a lot to do with complexion. We got to get off of that. We got to get off of that. You can't tell the next person who to fall in love with, whatever complexion. Two light-skinned black people could have a kid that's very, very light. Or a light-skinned black man can sleep with a white woman and the kid come out white. All of these things, don't make that be the surprise. The surprise is how you raise your family and who they grow up to be that person to change the world. Stop worrying about who this next person is sleeping with. Make sure y'all stay around the people you love, and them people around you love you too. All right, love y'all, and make sure y'all share this. Please share this this live this morning. I appreciate it. I got a couple things to do, but I couldn't wait here to get to you guys. I really appreciate you. You know that, and gonna have some new things coming to the channel. I really appreciate you. Love you guys, and make sure y'all wear a new color, drink a new drink. Have a conversation with a stranger. All right.